I have a new band, and the album is not even very electronic anymore. It's quite acoustic. We recorded most of it, and I just did edits and some effects on it later on. But basically, it's quite an acoustic record, and it requires a band, and that's why I'm playing with my band now. And we play new music. Nobody knows it. It's like I'm a new band, and it's quite a challenge. Funny enough, when I was a child, I was a drummer, and I always knew that I will be a musician when I'm old. And then, when I was a teenager, I realized that a very few people make it only to be a professional musician. So I was like, okay, come on, let's be realistic. You're not going to be a musician. And when I was 23, I was in Berlin, and the life in Berlin was quite cheap. So it was easy to afford a life of being a professional musician. It didn't need much, only 2 gigs a month and a very cheap flat and shitty food from the supermarket. So I did that for a long time, for a few years, before things started, you know. Of course, there's still so much going on in Berlin musically, you know. I mean, it's been like that for almost since the wall came down, because suddenly there was so much freedom, you know, so many empty buildings for people to go there and just have parties, put a sound system somewhere. When I moved to Berlin, there were all these like empty blank spots between the houses, and sometimes there would be a bar with music during a summer, and the next summer the bar would be somewhere else. And that was very cool, and I really like that about Berlin. It's not really like that anymore, because obviously they build new houses everywhere, and there's not so much space anymore. 10 years ago, the performance wasn't even important. The DJ was just like in the dark, in a dark room, and strobe lights and whatever, so nobody even looked at the DJ. At some point, the DJ became an icon, and people really looked to him. And then, of course, if you play vinyls, you make like certain movements on stage, and you really see what he's doing. He's like changing a record, so next song. Of course, that's not really possible these days anymore, because everything happens on a computer, and there are like 1,000 different approaches to change that. So lots of controllers, whatever. So at least now you see the people move again. You know, they turn knobs and stuff and do this and that. But still, of course, for the audience, it is hard to figure out what somebody is doing right now. And this is also a problem. This is a problem for not so electronic, socialized people to relate to what the artist and the DJ is doing at the moment.